Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm addressing you while you're listening. It's Friday. It's Thursday for me while I'm doing this show for you. And this is going to be a fun one if you have time to let your ears listen while you're doing that fabulous work you do. This is novelty songs from the rock and roll era. And novelty songs were fun songs, dealt with humor a lot and off the beaten track, so to speak. Sometimes they took a serious subject and made it funny. But in this event, I'm going to play you a lot of songs, novelty. Some were big hits, some just made the top 40, but barely. The first four I'm playing are all by the same group, the Coasters. They were all written by a duo, Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, who were huge songwriters of that era. They wrote many songs for Elvis Presley, including this big one, Jailhouse Rock. So I hope you enjoy them. They're a lot of fun to listen to. And the first one is called Along Came Jones by the Coasters from 1959. It will come up momentarily.
I'll saw you all in half.
And then he grabbed her, and then he tied her up, and then he turned on the bus, and then, and along came John, talking John, slow walking John,
Slow talking John.
along came lonely, leggy John. Commercial came on, so I got up to get myself a snack. You should have seen what was going on by the time that I got back. Down in the old club, pantomime, Sweet Sue was having mix. That Bill said,
Give me the deed to your ranch, I'll blow you all to bits.
and then he grabbed her, and then he tied her up, and then he lit the fuse to the dynamite, and then along came John, talking John, slow walking John,
Slow talking John.
along came lonely, leggy John. I got so bugged I turned it off and turned on another show. But there was the same old shoe and the same old rodeo. Soft as Sam was the tiger stuff, Sweet Sue and a girl like that.
If you don't give me the deed to your ranch, I'm gonna throw you on the railroad track.
And then he grabbed her, and then he tied her up, and then he threw on the railroad track, and then that train started coming, and then along came John, talking John, slow walking John,
Slow talking John.
along came lonely, leggy John, along came lonely, leggy John.
Okay, that was the Coasters. The first one, Along Came Jones, 1959, and the next three by the Coasters are also from 1959. Busy year for them. This one is called Charlie Brown.
Beep, beep, bye, bye, boo, boo, bum. I smell smoke in the auditorium. Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get it done. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
That's him on his knees. I know that's him.
always picking on me?
Who's always writing on the wall? Who's always moving in the hall? Who's always throwing spin balls? Guess who?
Who, me?
Walks in the classroom, cool and slow. Who calls the English teacher Daddy-O? Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown. He's a clown, that Charlie Brown. He's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Walks in the classroom, cool and slow. Who calls the English teacher Daddy-O? Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown. He's a clown, that Charlie Brown. He's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
That was Charlie Brown, again, 1959. And the next one up is going to be a song called Poison Ivy. Hope you never had to experience that. The Coasters again.
She comes on like a rose, but everybody knows she'll get you in touch. You can look, but you better not touch. Poison ivy, poison ivy. Late at night while you're sleeping, poison ivy comes a creeping around. She's pretty as a daisy, but look, I mean, she's crazy. She'll really do you in if you let her get under your skin. Poison ivy, poison ivy. Late at night while you're sleeping, poison ivy comes a creeping around. Measles will make you bumpy, and mumps will make you lumpy, and chicken pox will make you jump and switch. A common cold will fool ya, and whooping cough will cool ya. Poison ivy Lord will make you itch. You're gonna need an ocean of calamine lotion. You'll be scratching like a hound the minute you start to mess around. Poison ivy, poison ivy. Late at night while you're sleeping, poison ivy comes a creeping around. Measles will make you bumpy, and mumps will make you lumpy, and chicken pox will make you jump and switch. A common cold will fool ya, and whooping cough will cool ya. Poison ivy Lord will make you itch. You're gonna need an ocean of calamine lotion. You'll be scratching like a hound the minute you start to mess around. Poison ivy, poison ivy. Late at night while you're sleeping, poison ivy comes a creeping around. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Okay, Poison Ivy, something that you did not want to catch, now or then. Okay, the next one, it's going to be like having a conversation with your parents maybe, so it might perk you up a little bit. This is called Yakety Yak, and this happened to win a Grammy Award. Okay, the last one by the Coasters in the novelty category. Yakety Yak. Yakety Yak by the Coasters, and that's it for the Coasters for our session on Novelty Records. They were quite a successful group in the late 50s and early 60s. Okay, the next one, we're going to move to 1960. This is a song called The Time Machine by Dante and the Evergreens.
History book. With my lid when I took a look. There on page 219 was this here Egyptian queen. Although she lived in 44 BC, Cleopatra is the chick for me. I'm gonna build a time machine so I can go back and take a seat. I'm gonna make some time with my Egyptian queen in my little old time machine. Pretty soon I'll be making the gig when I sit the do that on my thingamajig. I'm gonna crank and turn the dial. Very soon I'll be on the Nile, holding hands with my Cleo kid, sitting in the shade of a pyramid. I'm gonna build a time machine so I can go back and make a scene. I'm gonna make some time with my Egyptian queen in my little old time machine. She got a daddy rich as old King Tut. I hear the mummies all wrapped up. Got a million diamonds on every shelf. When I walk in, she'll say, help yourself. I'll fill my pockets, and after a while, we'll make some time in that Q60 style. I'm gonna build a time machine so I can go back and make a scene. I'm gonna make some time with my Egyptian queen in my little old time machine. Look at that girl go, like she sure is copacetic. Like, wow, get that snake away from my girl. Oh no, it's too late.
That was Donnie and the Evergreens from 1960 and The Time Machine, and that went as high as number 3 on the charts. Okay, this is a fun one. This is from a singer down in Australia. It came out in Australia in 1959. Didn't make it over here until 1961 when it hit also as high as number 3. And this is called Does Your Chewing Gum Lose Its Flavor on the on the Bedpost Overnight? Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? And this is by Lonnie Donegan.
If only I could know the answer to my question, is it yes or is it no? Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? If your mother says don't chew it, do you swallow it in spite? Can you catch it on your tonsils and you hear it left and right? Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? Here comes a blushing bride, the groom is by her side. Up to the altar, it's steady as the altar, and the groom has got the ring, and it's such a pretty thing. But as he slips it on the finger, the choir begins to sing. Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? If your mother says don't chew it, do you swallow it in spite? Can you catch it on your tonsils, and you hear it left and right? Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost? Now the nation rises one to send their
foghorns out.
Boom, boom. That your chewing gum loses its flavor on that post overnight. If your mother said don't chew it, do you swallow it is fine? And you catch it on your tongue so and you hear it left and right. That chewing gum loses its flavor on the bedpost overnight. On the bedpost overnight. Now you're gonna love, you're on the one that holds you tight. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night on the bedpost overnight. Rinse it over and the dime is a dime. He's singing out a chorus, but he hasn't got the time. On the bedpost overnight.
Okay, that was Lonnie Donegan and Does Your Chewing Gum Lose Its Flavor on the Bedpost Overnight? Okay, let's move to 1967. This song did not have, did not move up the charts very far. It was just there for a short time, but it was fun in its own way. And the best thing to come out of this group, which is called Dr. West Medicine Band, was the lead, and his name was Norman Greenfield, who went on to record on his own and had one of the biggest hits of 1969, Spirit in the Sky. You may have heard it, it's been in quite a few movies. This is called The Eggplant That Ate Chicago, 1967, from Dr. West Medicine Band.
Sugar, you better watch out for the eggplant that ate Chicago, for he may eat your city soon. You better watch out for the eggplant that ate Chicago. If he's still hungry, the whole country's doomed. Like sugar, you better watch out for the eggplant that ate Chicago, for he may eat your city soon. You better watch out for the eggplant that ate Chicago. If he's still hungry, the whole country's doomed. It's in trouble.
Eggplant That Ate Chicago. Luckily, it stayed away from other cities. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. This is from 1959. It's called Seven Little Girls Sitting in the Backseat. It's by a gentleman called Paul Evans, and this was in the top 10 for the time it was out.
is what the seven girls said.
All together now, 1, 2, 3. Keep your mind on your drive and keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your snoopy eyes on the road ahead. We're having fun, sitting in the back seat, kissing and hugging with Fred. Dee-doo-dee-dum-dum, dee-doo-dee-dum-dum, dee-doo-dee-dum-dum-dum.
Drove through the town, drove through the country, showed 'em how a motor could go. I said, how do you like my triple carburetor? And one of them whispered low.
All together now, 1, 2, 3. Keep your mind on your drive and keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your snoopy eyes on the road ahead. We're having fun, sitting in the back seat, kissing and hugging with Fred. Dee-doo-dee-dum-dum, dee-doo-dee-dum-dum, dee-doo-dee-dum-dum-dum.
Said little girl, scooching in the back seat, everyone in love with Fred. I said, you don't need me, I'll get up at my house, and this is what the seven girls said.
All together now, 1, 2, 3. Keep your mind on your drive and keep your hands on the wheel. Keep your snoopy eyes on the road ahead. We're having fun, sitting in the back seat, kissing and hugging with Fred.
All of them in love with Fred,
Dee-doo-dee-dum-dum,
kissing and a hugging with Fred.
dee-doo-dee-dum-dum.
Wish that I could be like Fred.
That's Seven Little Girls Sitting in the Back Seat. Paul Evans, 1959. Now this next one is interesting because in 1955, Walt Disney made a TV series called Davy Crockett, and it was based on a real person who was a congressman on the Tennessee and went on to fight at the Alamo. And so there's some truth in the song and there's some fiction in the song. But anyway, Disney this movie had three episodes to it, and eventually they turned it into a full-length movie and released it. So anybody out there that has the Disney Plus channel should look at Davy Crockett because it's quite an interesting and fun movie. Okay, this is the Ballad of Davy Crockett, and this version of it by a gentleman named Bill Hayes went to #1 in the country. The star of the movie who played Davy Crockett, Fess Parker, he also recorded it and it became a hit, but not as big as this one that I'm going to play you. So this is the Ballad of Davy Crockett from 1955 from the Disney movie Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier.
Davy, Davy Crockett, the king of the wild frontier. Born on a mountaintop in Tennessee, the greenest state in the land of the free. Raised in the woods so he knew every tree, and killed him a bar when he was only 3. Davy, Davy Crockett, the king of the wild frontier. He fought single-handed through the Injun War, till the creeks was whipped and peace was in store. And while he was handling this risky chore, he made himself a legend forevermore. Davy, Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. When he lost his love, his grief was gone. In his heart he wanted to leave it all and lose himself in the forest tall, but he answered instead his country's call. Davy, Davy Crockett, the choice of the whole frontier. He went off to Congress and served a spell, fixing up the government laws as well. Took over Washington, so we hear tell, and patched up the crack in the Liberty Bell. Davy, Davy Crockett, serving his country well. When he come home, his politicking done, while the big western march had just begun. He packed up his gear and his trusty gun, and lit out to grinning to follow the sun. Davy, Davy Crockett, leading a pioneer. His land is biggest, and his
that's the Ballad of Davy Crockett. Again, it was a Disney movie created. He became famous, Davy Crockett, after that. And you can look it up in Google. His life ended at the Alamo under siege. Okay, this next one is from 1960. It's a fun song called Alley Oop. Alley Oop was a comic strip in the Sunday papers. Somebody made a song out of it. The Hollywood Argyles.
There's a man in the funny papers we all know. He lives way back a long time ago. He don't eat nothing but a bear cat stew. Well, this cat's name is Alley-Oo. He got a chauffeur that's a genuine dinosaur. And he can knuckle your head before you count to 4. He got a big ugly club and a head full of hair. Like great big lions and grizzly bears. He's the toughest man that is alive. Wearing clothes from a wildcat's hide. He's the king of the jungle jive. Look at that caveman go. He rides through the jungle, tearing limbs off of trees. Knocking great big monsters dead on their knees. The cats don't bug him 'cause they know better. 'Cause he's a mean motor scooter and a bad go-getter. He's the toughest man there is alive. Wears clothes from a wildcat's hide. He's the king of the jungle jive. Look at that caveman go. There he goes. Look at that caveman go. He sure is hip, ain't he? Like what's happening? He's too much. Right, Daddy, right. Higher dinosaur. Right, Daddy, right. Get him, man. Like Hillsville.
That's Alley Oop by the Hollywood Argyles, 1960, based on a comic strip that was in the Sunday Funnies. Okay, this next one is again getting back to historical. This is based on a historical event sung by a gentleman named Johnny Horton back in 1959. This was a #1 hit song, Battle of New Orleans.
Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans and we caught the bloody British in a town in New Orleans. We fired our guns and the British kept a coming. There wasn't as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they began to run it on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. We looked down the river and we see the British come and there must have been 100 of them beating on the drum. They stepped so high and they made the bugles ring. We stood beside our cotton bales and didn't say a thing. We fired our guns and the British kept a coming. There wasn't as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they began to run it on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Old Hickory said we could take them by surprise if we didn't fire muskets till we looked them in the eye. We held our fire till we seen their faces well. Then we opened up our squirrel guns and really gave them well. We fired our guns and the British kept
tried once more and they began to run down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, they ran through the briars and they ran through the brambles and they ran through the bushes where a rabbit couldn't go. They ran so fast that the hounds couldn't catch them. On down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay, that was the Battle of New Orleans, which was part of the War of 1812, big battle during that time. So you probably studied it in history. We'll move on now to 1967. This is a group called the Irish Rovers, and they had this song called The Unicorn. Hope you like unicorns.
A long time ago when the earth was green, there was more kinds of animals than you'd ever seen. They'd run around free when the earth was being born, but the loveliest of them all was the unicorn. There was green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-backed camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn. Now God seen some sinning, and it gave him pain, and he says, stand back, I'm going to make it rain. He says, hey brother Noah, I'll tell you what to do. Build me a floating zoo, and take some of them green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-backed camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, don't you forget my unicorn. Old Noah was there to answer the call. He finished up making the ark just as the rain started falling. He marched in the animals 2 by 2, and he called out as they went through, hey Lord, I got you green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-backed camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but Lord, I'm so forlorn, I just can't see no unicorn. Then Noah looked out through the dragging rain. Them unicorns were hiding, playing silly games, kicking and splashing while the rain was pouring. Oh, them silly unicorns. Those green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-backed camels and some chimpanzees. Noah cried, close the door, 'cause the rain was pouring, and we just can't wait for no unicorn. The ark started moving, it drifted with the tides. The unicorns looked up from the rocks and they cried, and the waters came down and sort of floated them away. And that's why you never seen a unicorn till this very day. You'll see green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-backed camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, you're never going to see no unicorn.
The Unicorn by the Irish Rovers, 1967. This next song came out in 1958 by a young lady called Betty Johnson, and this was a big hit. It made the top 40, went up probably to, if I remember correctly, into the top 10. This is called The Little Blue Man.
One morning when I was out shopping, though you'll find it hard to believe, A little blue man came out of the crowd and timidly tugged at my sleeve.
I love you,
Said the little blue man.
I love you to bits. I love you.
He loved me, said the little blue man, and scared me right out of my wits. I hurried back to my apartment. I rushed in and I closed the door. But there on the desk stood the little blue man, who started to tell me once more.
I love you,
Said the little blue man.
I love you to bits. I love you.
He loved me, said the little blue man, and scared me right out of my wits. For weeks after that I was haunted, though no one could see him but me. Right by my side was the little blue man, wherever I happened to be.
I love you.
One evening in wild desperation, I rushed to a rooftop in town, and over the side pushed the little blue man, who sang to me all the way down.
I love you,
Said the little blue man.
I love you to bits.
He loved me, said the little blue man, and scared me right out of my wits. I whispered, thank goodness that's over. I smiled as I hurried outside, but there on the street stood the little blue man, who said with a tear in his eye,
I don't love you anymore.
That was The Little Blue Man by Betty Johnson in 1958. Okay, now this next song came out in 1966, and it's apt for this year of the COVID. A lot of people feel this way right now. This is called They're Coming to Take Me Away by Napoleon the 14th.
Remember when you ran away and I got on my knees and begged you not to leave because I'd go berserk? Well, you left me anyhow, and then the days got worse and worse, and now you see I've gone completely out of my mind. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha! You thought it was a joke, and so you laughed. You laughed when I had said that losing you would make me flip my lid. Right? You know you laughed. I heard you laugh. You laughed, and laughed, and then you left. But now you know I'm utterly mad. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit and smile and twiddle their thumbs and toes, and they're coming to take me away, I cooked your food, I cleaned your house, and this is how you pay me back for all my kind, unselfish, loving deeds. Ha! Well, you just wait, they'll find you yet, and when they do, they'll put you in the ASPCA, you mangy mutt. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, to the happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit and smile and twiddle their thumbs and toes, and they're coming to take me away.
Napoleon the 14th, They're Coming to Take Me Away. Again, that was out in 1966. Now, this next one really isn't from the rock and roll era. It was a few years before rock and roll started, 1952. However, it was such a huge nationwide hit that people were singing it all over the place. And this is by a woman who had many hit records starting early in the 50s, well into the 60s. Her name is Patti Page, and this song is called The Doggy in the Window, also known How Much Is That Doggy in the Window?
How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. I must take a trip to California and leave my poor sweetheart alone. If he has a dog, he won't be lonesome, and the doggy will have a good home. How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. I read in the paper they're arriving with flashlights that shine in the dark. My love needs a doggy to protect them and scare them away with one bark. I don't want a bunny or a kitty. I don't want a parrot that talks. I don't want a bowl of little fishies. He can't take a goldfish for a walk. How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale.
Okay, that was How Much Is That Doggy in the Window, or The Doggy in the Window. I mentioned 1952, it was actually 1953, and that was by Miss Patti Page. Now, this next one, rock and roll, I told you on previous class sessions, was big on Cars songs. This is one of the first Cars songs, and it's unique in its novelty way, and it's called Beep Beep, and it's by the Playmates out of 1958.
While riding in my Cadillac, what to my surprise, a little Nash Rambler was following me about 1/3 my size. The guy must have wanted to pass me out as he kept on tooting his horn. I'll show him that a Cadillac is not a car to scorn. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. I pushed my foot down to
feathers shake. But the little mesh rambler stayed right behind. He still had on his brake. He must have thought his car had more guts as he kept on tooting his horn. I'll show him that a Cadillac is not a car to scorn. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. My car went into passing gear and we took off the dust. Soon we were doing 90, must have left him in the dust. When I peeked in the mirror of my car, I couldn't believe my eyes. The little mesh wrapper was right behind, I think that guy could fly. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. Now we're doing 110, it certainly was a race. For a rapper passing caddy would be a big disgrace. The guy was smart to pass me out, he's kept on tooting his horn. I'll show him that a Cadillac is not a car to scorn. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. Now we're doing 120 as fast as I could go. The ramper pulled outside of me as the car going slow. The car rolled out his window, and you put me through here. Hey buddy, how can I get this car out of second gear?
That was Beep Beep by the Playmates, one of the first car songs in the rock and roll era. Okay, the next one, this introduces some new singers in the song that you might recognize because they go on to greater fame after this record, which they are not the lead on. And this is called The Witch Doctor by David Seville. And this came out in 1958, and this man became a very important part of the music industry. The Witch Doctor.
I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. And then the witch doctor, he told me what to do. He said, I told the witch doctor, you give your love me true. I told the witch doctor, you give your love me nice. And then the witch doctor, he gave me this advice. He said that, you can keep it away from me just like you were a miser. And I'll admit I wasn't very smart. So I went out and found myself a guy that's so much wiser. And he taught me the way to win your heart. My friend the witch doctor, he taught me what to say. My friend the witch doctor, he taught me what to do. I know that you'll be mine when I say this to you. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla walla bing bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla walla bang bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla walla bing bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla walla bang bang. You've been keeping it up from me just like you were a miser. And I'll admit I wasn't very smart. So I went out and found myself a guy that's so much wiser. And he taught me the way to win your heart. My friend the witch doctor, he taught me what to say. My friend the witch doctor, he taught me what to do. I know that you'll be mine when I say this to you, oh baby. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla walla bing bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla walla bang bang. Come on and ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla walla bing bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla walla bang bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla walla bing bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla walla bang bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla walla bing bang.
That was David Seville from 1958, The Witch Doctor. Now, you heard some voices in there that David Seville, since the song was so popular, and to talk about how he did the voices and all that of the people singing with him. And those people were chipmunks, and they became the Chipmunks. And the next song put out by David Seville was under the Chipmunks as artist on it. And this is called the Chipmunk song, but it morphed into the Christmas song by the Chipmunks because it is about Christmas, so I thought it was apt to play it at this time. But the Chipmunks, which David Seville created, just were mega hits at that time, albums singles, coloring books, eventually movies, cartoons. He just created something that clicked with the public at the time. So this is called the Chipmunk Song from 1958, the birth of the Chipmunks.
All right, you chipmunks, ready to sing your song? Okay, Simon? Okay, Theodore? Okay, Alvin? Alvin? Alvin! Okay, fellas, get ready. That was very good, Simon. Very good, Theodore. Alvin, you were a little flat. Watch it, Alvin. Alvin. Very good, boys. No, that's enough. Let's not overdo it. Now, wait a minute, boys. Alvin, cut that down to the lips. Theodore, just a minute. Simon, will you cut that out? Get on.
That was the first Chipmunk song in 1958. Their next one after that was Alvin's Harmonica, which was also a big hit. Okay, we're going to move to 1963, next novelty record. This was a top 10 record at the time. It involved invaders from space, basically, because this is called The Martian Hop by the Randells.
We have just discovered an important note from space. The
That was the Randells, the Martian Hop. I want to get back to the Chipmunks for a second. They won a Grammy, believe it or not, for the Chipmunk song that was on an album. And that was for an electronically produced song. But it is a Grammy and they won it. And they were so big that they also made an album, the Chipmunks Sing the Beatles. That's how big the Chipmunks were. And they're still around, believe it or not. Okay, we're getting down near the end. This song coming up is also historical. It's taken out of concept, but it's something that actually happened, but not in the way that the song portrays it. So this is Snoopy versus the Red Baron, and there really was a Red Baron, and this is from 1969. Oh, I may have pressed the wrong button on this one. Yeah, I did. Just a moment. Let's try this again. Okay, here we go. Snoopy and the Red Baron.
After the turn of the century, in the clear blue skies over Germany, came a roar and a thunder man had never heard, like the screaming sound of a big warbird. Up in the sky, a man in a plane, Baron von Richthofen was his name. Amen tried, and Amen died, now they're buried together on the countryside. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or more, the bloody Red Baron was rolling up the score. Amen died, trying to end that spree of the bloody Red Baron of Germany. In the nick of time, a hero arose, a funny looking dog with a big black nose. He flew to the sky to seek revenge, but the Baron shot him down. Curse his heart over there. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or more, the bloody Red Baron was rolling up the score. Amen died, trying to end that spree of the bloody Red Baron of Germany. Now Snoopy had sworn that he'd get that man, so he asked the great pumpkin for a new battle plan. He challenged the German to a real dog fight, while the Baron was laughing, he got him in his sight. The bloody Red Baron was in a fix. He tried everything, but he'd run out of tricks. Snoopy fired once and he fired twice, and that bloody Red Baron was spinning out of sight. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or more, the bloody Red Baron was rolling up the score. Amen died, trying to end that spree of the bloody Red Baron of Germany. Well, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or more, the bloody Red Baron was rolling up the score. Amen died, trying to end that spree of the bloody Red.
Okay, that was Snoopy versus the Red Baron from 1969. The last song I have for novelties is from 1959. It was a top 10 hit by a young lady called Dodie Stevens, and this is Pink Shoelaces.
Now I've got a guy and his name is Doogie. truly, he's not good looking. Heaven knows, but I'm wild about his crazy clothes. He wears tan shoes with pink shoelaces, a polka dot vest, and man, oh man, he wears tan shoes with pink shoelaces, and a big Panama with a purple hat band. He takes me deep sea fishing in a submarine. We go to drive-in movies in a limousine. He's got a whirly birdie and a 12-foot yacht. All the pets and all he's got. He's got tan shoes with pink shoelaces, a polka dot vest, and man, oh man, he wears tan shoes with pink shoelaces, and a big Panama with a purple hat band. Judy had a feeling we were going to war, so he went out and enlisted in a fighting corps. But he landed in the brink for raising such a storm, and they tried to put him in a uniform. He wanted tan shoes with pink shoelaces, a polka dot vest, and man, oh man, he wanted tan shoes with pink shoelaces, and a big Panama with a purple hat band. Now one day Judy started feeling sick, and he decided that he better make his will out quick. He said,
Just before the angels come to carry me, I want it down in writing how to bury me.
oh, wearing tan shoes with pink shoelaces, a polka dot vest, and man, oh man, tan shoes with pink shoelaces, and a big Panama with a purple hat band. And a big Panama with a purple hat band.
Okay, there you go. That's the Novelty Records. That was Pink Shoelaces by Dodie Stevens. So that wraps it up for this Friday. Hope you were able to enjoy it, and I know you have a week off coming up, so enjoy it and have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you down the road.